Today we're going a little bit different direction. Today we're talking about an artist who is, um, man, this guy bends genres like it's hard to even explain. I think today in my class I was talking about black music that was either like founded or popularized or pushed forward by black people. And the genre list is huge, right? We've got jazz, soul, funk, blues, right? Rock and roll, you know, even talking about some country and bluegrass and that kind of stuff. And Ben Harper epitomizes that because he mixes so many of those genres at different times. Some of his songs feel real rock and roll, some of them feel soul, some of them feel blues, some of them feel jazz, some of them feel roots, you know? And that's maybe part of the reason that I love Ben Harper so much. My first exposure to Ben Harper was through this album, which is why I had to have this album. Both Sides of the Gun. This is a very different album, okay? So one album of this is much more aggressive. And I'm trying to remember if he has like some sort of distinction on the album. Let's see here. I don't think he really has like a name for each album, but he does have these two sides. So the first album has Morning Yearning, Waiting for You, Picture in a Frame, Never Leave Lonely Alone, Sweet Nothing Serenade, Reason to Mourn, More Than Sorry, Crying Won't Help You Now, Happy Ever After in Your Eyes. And guys, that's the softer side, the mellow side. And Morning Yearning is maybe one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my entire life. It's definitely on my summer mix. It just has those vibes to me. It's a gorgeous song. Then we have this other side, which has Better Way, Both Sides of the Gun, Engraved Invitation, Black Rain, Gather Round the Stone, Please Don't Talk About Murder While I'm Eating, Get It Like You Like It, The Way You Found Me, Serve Your Soul. And there's some songs on that album, like Black Rain and stuff like that, that are really dealing with the issue of, racism and prejudice. Ben's got a story that he tells about how he was going to the studio. I may get the details wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure he was going to the studio and ended up there was a call, an alarm going off or something like that, and he gets basically surrounded by police officers who automatically assume that he did it simply because he's a biracial black man. And so he addresses some of that on some of these songs. It's black vinyl, double LP. So, I mean, as far as that goes, it's pretty stock, but it's a phenomenal album, and I genuinely think that every single human being needs to own this album. It's such a good one. Now, I don't have a ton of Ben Harper. He has quite a few albums out there, and I really need to get some more because he's so good. But the other album I have is way different vibe, and that's this one. And that's Ben Harper, Winter is for Lovers. Now, this is an instrumental album. And every song in here, I believe, is based on an area of New York. Been a while since I've looked at this album. It's so tight. Some of these, I didn't get some bigger sleeves, man. I'll tell you what. But yeah, let's see here. Istanbul, Manhattan, Joshua Tree, Inland Empire, Harlem, Lebanon, London, Toronto, Verona, Brittany, Montreal, Buzzanette, Toronto Reprise, Islip, and Paris. That's what's on here. That's the tracks on here. This is a gorgeous album. Now, one of the things, Ben Harper is most well known for playing like the lap steel, right? It's an instrument you don't hear everyone playing, and he's so good at it. And it really goes with this album well. I mean, this is a different vibe, and I love it. In fact, just talking about it right now, I know there's one I'm going to put on at work tomorrow in my library because it's got such good vibes and no words, so I don't have to worry about that aspect of it, but it's a gorgeous album. So we've talked about a bunch of different artists on here. We've talked about hip-hop, we've talked about jazz, we've talked about pop. But Ben Harper's one of those that he kind of crosses all the lines, and I highly recommend that you add some Ben Harper to your collection.